Hey, this is Tanya Thompson from Of-CourseOnline.com, and I'm here with Carly, and we're going to do an amazing topic today. But before we even get started, if you want to learn about anatomy and biomechanics, how to apply it, and how to up your teaching skills and deliver to your clients every single time, then simply hit subscribe, share this, and feel free to comment and ask us questions. Today's topic is amazing. We are looking at training the abdominals, but we're training it a little bit differently. Let me just tell you, it doesn't matter how strong our clients are, how sporty they are, and how muscular they are, men and women, they really struggle with this abdominal series. And that's because we're going to take the abdominal muscles from its full eccentric range and we're going to shorten it into its concentric range, working it through that full range, and they never normally do it. Why don't they do that? So I'm going to have her lie on her back. You know that every time somebody does ab work, they do it from here. So it's always lying flat. It's always coming just from that neutral range and into that flexion. They're either maintaining neutral pelvis or they're tucking the pelvis through, but it's always from that flat range. As soon as you take those abdominal muscles and you give it extension in the back so that it gets a stretch, so they're arching their back and they're opening this out, those muscles, number one, most of the times are pretty tight in a lot of clients because they don't do anything else in their life but this. And the older they get, the tighter everything gets, unless they're born with natural mobility, which is a chat for another time. But when they are constantly doing abs from that flat position coming up into normal chest lifts, they train the abdominals to get used to that. But what if we could say to the abs, hang on a minute, not only do I want you to work from a lengthened position, but I think our spines literally need to do more of this because nobody is actually physically doing that. So that means that if you take the spine, so she's going to shuffle up off the edge, and I want you to try this, and I want you to teach this. And you hang the chest over, so there we're getting a stretch. You can even see her ribs coming out because she's getting that extension in her back. And then she pulls her head up to that shortened position. Those abs are going to fatigue really quickly because we know when a muscle is really long and it comes in to be short and it's not used to it, it's really weak and it really requires a lot of effort to get to that point. So we're going to first start by mobilizing the thoracic spine. Crucial. Not all clients have thoracic mobility. A lot of them are stuck in kyphosis. A lot of them have kyphosis, but they're actually not physically stuck. So you need to check that. But let's say Carly is stuck, even though she's not stuck. I'm going to put this. It's a half foam roller. I love this. I actually purchased this for all my clients. They've got loads of them at home. So she's going to lie back. I've got to find that sweet spot of her thoracic spine. Not too low, not too high, just right. So her elbows are slightly forward. Why do we do that? We want the elbows in that 30-degree scapular line because then she exposes the underarms. She can rest her head in her hands and she doesn't get too much happening from the vater scapula that really likes to pull those shoulders up. I want that exposed underarm because I want more weight of her body this way. If she drops her shoulders back and up, it pulls her over that way. So I want her to bring that forward and open. Now, this is important. Head is resting in her hands. She's first going to inhale, release it over. There it presses into that thoracic spine. Super uncomfortable. Most clients are like, when they do it. And then exhale, bringing it up. The good news is it starts easing within the session. Inhale, releasing it over. Head is down, chin is in. So she's not doing this with her head. I want that head to be heavy. And the reason is, here is the weight that's opening that back up on this side. Her rib cage is holding her down on this side with the pelvis. She's going to exhale, bring it up. Once they've done that a few times where they're inhaling over and exhaling up, we hold it. Now we reverse it. And I want you to really start thinking, why would they change the breathing? She's going to inhale here. Exhale, release it over. When she exhales, she closes the rib cage. Why? Because the abs are primary movers for exhalation. And guess what? transverse abdominis, deepest layer of abs, also brings those ribs in towards each other. So as soon as they bring the ribs in, it anchors her on this side and her head presses her over on that side. So now her upper back is getting that motion, whereas when she was breathing, it was just getting that motion. I hope that makes sense. So she's going to inhale, bring it up. Exhale, take it all the way over, nice and heavy. Inhale, bringing it up. Exhale, taking it all the way over, nice and heavy. She's going to stay there for me. Why am I doing this with her when I'm trying to do eccentric abs? Because if I want that back to go into that extension and release the abdominals to their maximum before they come up and use their abdominals, I'm going to have to mobilize that upper back. Because if it's stuck, they're not going to get that extension in the back, and it's all going to come only from here, and I really want that full spine to get the extension. So this is crucial that you get that mobility. So once you've got it, they come up. How do you know you've got it released a little bit? Every time they do a rep, it feels a little bit easier and a little bit easier. So now we do abs eccentrically. There's two ways that you do it on the Bosu. I like to have the legs straight down, but when the legs are straight down and they're really tight, this is what they do. As they go over, they lift up. They love doing that. So now that's not as eccentric as we can go. Your goal is to say head down, pelvis down. But they really struggle with that. So I do allow them to then bend their legs a little bit so that this is just nice and heavy for them and they don't feel like they're going to lift their bum up, okay? So it's really close to her sacrum. Same position with the elbows. 30-degree scapular line, pulling it away from you, exposing the underarm. She's going to inhale. Exhale, chest lift up, ribs close. So you're like, oh, this is great for my clients who can't come up very high, which is true. And then inhale, releasing it over. Watch this. Exhale, bring it up, press the lower back into that Bosu. So it's like you really want to give it that little into the Bosu. And then inhale, releasing it over. And exhale, bringing it up, pushing it into that Bosu. So I always say to them, it's like you just want to lift off, but you're not allowed to. And then releasing it over. So that is the easier version after we've mobilized it. Now I want her to lift up higher and release over even more. So she lifts up, not too far back. So I don't want to feel like most of the torso is on this side because they're just going to pull straight into the back to try and get up. Now I'm going to ask her to straighten her legs. All right? So we know she's quite comfortable there. She's going to inhale in this position. The further over I take her, the worse it's going to become and the more intense it's going to be. Exhale, bring it up, abdominals, draw deep, press the back in. When you come up, I want you to lift your chest a little bit to the ceiling and then inhale, drape it all the way back. And exhale, gently bringing it up with a little lift, abs draw deep, and then controlling it down. And exhale, so you can see the range is more and the weight is more over, and this is what makes it so tough. And exhale, bringing it up, draw deep, hold, and controlling it down. Let's do two more. I would normally do 10 with 10 pulses, 3 sets, just saying. Exhale, bringing it up. That third set is an absolute killer. And controlling it over. We're going to take it up. We keep it there. We hold it. She does little pulses. 1, lifting 2. And you can see what my hands do. 3. If I wanted it to curve, I'd go 4. But I'm doing this 5 and not the 6. And up 7. Opening 8. Draw deep 9. Exposed underarms. Hold it. And gently release it over. All right. So the Bosu is amazing for that. If you don't have a Bosu, I definitely recommend it, especially when it comes to abs. I use it for everybody. So now I'm going to flip her around, okay? And we're going to have her on a surface that digs a little bit more into that upper back. So I'm taking this away. She's lying off the edge and she's going, my abs are already tired and I can't believe she's doing this immediately, hardly any break. So she's going to shuffle up a little bit more. How far off they are will be dependent on how much you want them to work, but also think about weight placement. If you take them too far off, they're going to start slipping back and they don't feel secure. So I want them to feel secure. So it's almost kind of just close to the inferior angle, but slightly above the inferior angle of the scapula. Remember that. So she's going to have straight legs down on the bed. I want this long lever to anchor her here. That's important. She's going to inhale, release all the way over and back. Look at that, hey? Which is why you have to mobilize first. Exhale, she's going to bring herself up, and that's easy. Hold it. Well, it's not easy, but it's a good one. I'll show you how we're going to make it even more challenging. Controlling it down. And exhale, she brings it up, holds it, and gently taking it over. Now watch this. She brings it up and she presses into these poles, okay? As soon as she presses into those poles and she's coming up, it goes straight into closed chain abdominals in its most concentric form. Imagine that. And inhale, releasing it over. Exhale, she brings it up. She presses into the poles, closed chain at that end point, and release it over. Now watch these pulses. She brings it up. She gets her elbows in there. Hold. She's going to pulse up against the poles and into it. 2. Exhale, 3. It's deadly. And 4. Lifting. 5. It's hectic. 6. You can see by her face. 7. Lifting. 8. In and up. 9. Last one. Hold it, hold it, hold it. Control it up or down. Powerful abdominal work. It takes your abdominal work from being, I'm getting so much stronger, I can totally do this stuff, to, you mean all I needed to do was work from that range and come up, and that's what I needed to do to get this intense workout? And it's absolutely going to happen for your clients. Save those 2 exercises. It's crucial. Think about 10 to 15 repetitions, about 3 sets, just to get those abs fired up nicely. It's one of my go-to exercises, especially for my clients who I'm trying to get extension in their back. And don't forget that half roll just to get that extension and mobility. So if you love this, remember to hit subscribe. You can share this and you can give us any comments below. We'll see you next time. As simple as that.